Database mail. You heard it right. It's no longer known as SQL mail as it used to be in SQL Server 2000. Just like other features, it is reincarnated as database mail. Many users of the database mail believe that SQL mail is a headache and database mail is not, and you still use the old SQL mail in SQL Server 2005 under the legacy tab. But I would suggest, unless you have a strong reason for backward compatibility, better don't. Database mail not only handles the somewhat simple task of sending emails rather well, but it has some other robust features that would be visible, and the features are multiple profiles and accounts to specify multiple SMTP servers or different email infrastructure situations. So we have a backup if a particular SMTP server is down. SQL Server queues messages even when the external mailing process fails so that they can be sent out at a later time. It uses service broker architecture for achieving the same. High security. Users and roles have to be granted permission to send mail. Logging and auditing. The mails that are sent are logged in tables which can be queried later. HTML messages. Attachment size regulations, file extension requirements, query results, etc. offers more flexibility in sending mails. We no longer depend on MS Outlook to send mails. Earlier we needed to have an Outlook client available on SQL Server for using SQL Mail. Database Mail is a separate process. Database Mail 90.exe that runs different from SQL Server process and hence runs outside the SQL Server.exe and do not cause any harm to the SQL Server. Database Mail is supported on SQL Cluster, which was not in the case earlier with SQL Mail. A complete configuration wizard is available which guides us in creating the profile to sending the emails so as to reduce any mistakes while configuration. The same can also be done using TSQL commands. SQL Server 2005 is designed as secure by default, and hence most of the features are disabled by default and hence have to be enabled manually. To enable database mail, you must use the surface area configuration tool. Open the surface area configuration tool and choose the surface area configuration for features. Choose the database mail and click the checkbox. Another way of enabling database mail is by using SQL Server Management Studio Object Browser. Connect to the server you are interested in, browse to management and then database mail. Right click the database mail and choose configure database mail. If database mail has not been enabled, it will tell you and ask if you want to enable the same. Well, before going to much detail, first let us get the concepts of profiles and accounts in database mail. Profiles. Database mail profiles are simply an ordered collection of related database mail accounts. In 2005, you can have a collection of outgoing SMTP servers for your messages. To provide some fault tolerance as well as load balancing, SQL Server attempts to send your message through the last successful SMTP server that sent a database mail message, or the server with the lowest sequence number if a message has never gone out. If that server fails to transfer the message, then it goes on to the next one. Profiles can be public or private. Private profiles are only available to specified users, and public profiles are available to all users in the mail host MSDB database. Accounts. In simple words, database mail accounts contain information relating to email SMTP servers.